Hey, I noticed your pickle isn't dipped in oil. Let me get that for you. It'll be good for you. Hey, what's good, yo? Soul here, and welcome back to the story mode. So, we have officially entered Switch 2 era, and I have been enjoying said Switch 2 era. Mario Kart is phenomenal. I've had a great time playing through Deltarune again because I haven't played that game in ages. Naturally, of course, I had to get the upgrade packs for both Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom, and they both look absolutely stunning. And I was too curious, I had to take a little bit of a peek at Pokemon Scarlet and Violet post-update. Spoiler alert, it looks so much better, it makes me want to vomit because it's so smooth. It's scary how much better it looks now. What we're gonna do in regards to that, I don't know yet, but we'll play it by ear. Keep an eye on the channel. But regardless of that, we got a Pokemon Presents announced to us just a couple of weeks ago. On some random morning, they decided to just go ahead and drop the release date for Pokemon Legends ZA, which is gonna be in October of 2025. So again, that completely throws off the timeline video that I literally just made, but whatever, doesn't matter. It's still closer to the end of the year. But regardless, alongside the release date of October 16th, we also got our first look at the box art, and it looks really good. Gives us a lot of details. I'm sure I really gotta replay Pokemon X and Y. It's been way too long, but I am working on that. But to put the cherry on top, we got the announcement for an inevitable Pokemon Presents July 22nd, next month. They do this to me every time I plan something in regards to timelines or like how long we need to wait, yada yada yada. They always get me with some crazy left field announcement, and it's always a shadow drop. I want to fight whoever's coming up with these schedules, man. But regardless, we're getting major info next month. Cool, dandy. What the hell are we going to be getting in terms of information? Well, I have a short little list here of predictions as to what we're going to be receiving for this inevitable Pokemon Presents next month, so I guess we're gonna go ahead and just dive into it a little bit. You guys already know the drill. Strap in, get yourself some cottage cheese, make sure that you swirl around a lot of strawberries in there. Could that be good? I don't know. Regardless, why don't we go ahead and talk about what we could be getting in terms of announcements in regards to next month's Pokemon Presents. First, let's go ahead and cover all of the obvious stuff. Of course, naturally, they're gonna give some updates to the mobile stuff. We still got Pokemon Masters up and running, Pokemon Sleep, Pokemon Go, Pokemon TCG, Pokemon Cafe Remix, etc, etc. Do not ask me what they're gonna bring to the table because I couldn't even begin to guess. I haven't played most of these games in ages, not even TCG, which is the one I probably opened most recently. They'll probably give us a cool couple of gimmicks for all of that stuff and maybe introduce a couple of new characters for Pokemon Unite. Cool, dandy. I don't even know who plays half of this stuff anymore. Maybe TCG, but everything else, I don't know how they're making that much money, but somebody's got to be funding it somehow. So who knows? Maybe we'll get something that actually makes us interested enough to come back to these games, but I highly doubt it. I mean, again, don't get me wrong, if you are enjoying these games, please do not take that the wrong way. I'm glad you are enjoying yourself, and I hope you get exactly what you want announced during this Presents for any content that you might want to see for these games. But me personally, I don't know anybody that plays these. So, hopefully we get something good. I don't know. After that, we're probably gonna get a little more focus on the shows that we're expecting. It's been almost like 2 years now since Pokemon Concierge, right? So surely we should be hearing something about Season 2 coming out later this year, or maybe early next year, something like that. I'm sure we'll get like a little trailer or something along those lines. Fun fact, I did like a little mini review of Season 1 of Pokemon Concierge a while back, but I kind of decided against putting it out because it was just so like, it was like a whatever, like it was a cute little show, but nothing like absolutely insane. But regardless, we're probably gonna get info on that pretty soon. Of course, we're probably gonna get some major update on the next season of Pokemon Horizons. I'm a little behind, so I'm sorry if I don't accurately know exactly where we are. We gotta be like midway through Season 2 or something. I don't really know. I just know we're hella behind JP, so we're probably gonna get information on that. But I think in regards to shows, we're probably gonna get like a little announcement or like a teaser for the next like mini series, the next web series of shorts that we're gonna get for something possibly leading up to Pokemon Legends ZA, maybe something completely different, I don't know, but it's gonna be like the next Pokemon Twilight Wings or Pokemon Evolution or Pokemon Generation, something along those lines. It's been a pretty good while now since Pokemon Paldean wins, right? So surely the next like major miniseries is on its way. I wouldn't be shocked if we got like a little special miniseries from another major animation company like they did with Wit Studio when they created Pokemon Hisui and Snow. So surely Pokemon Legends EA can get a very similar treatment, hopefully. That would be cool if we got like a little lead-in series. I don't think we've done something like that, so that would be really, really cool. But regardless, I have no doubt in my mind that something of that caliber is on its way. After that, we'll probably start getting more into like the games and things like that, and I'm sure that because of the release of the Switch 2, they're gonna tell us about something that's not Legends EA, that's gonna be like one of the major like spin-off games for this year. Maybe they'll save it for next year. Maybe I'm crazy, but I don't know. I feel like they're still hiding a lot from us, and I just can't help but think that there's a real possibility that we could get some other little spin-off game or some kind of really sick announcement in terms of what could be either a spin-off or maybe access to other games. I don't know. I have to imagine that we're gonna either get some kind of new spin-off game or it's gonna be like some big port or something. I can't let that go. My mind is running way too much on that. But again, it's kind of hard for me to imagine something like that when announcements of that caliber would probably be better suited for next year, as it is the anniversary, so we'll play that one by ear. Of course, we're probably gonna get some more specific updates and stuff for Scarlet and Violet, like how the mouse feature is most likely gonna work, hopefully with the PC. That would be pretty cool. Any events that are upcoming after this current one with the Porygon. I don't know what's going on with Porygon. I gotta get back into the game, but we do probably have a couple more events that are gonna happen with Pokemon Scarlet and Violet while we wait for Pokemon Legends EA, so they'll probably give us like all the rundowns and tidbits and things that are gonna be happening with those games while we wait. And then, of course, naturally, lastly, of the more smaller announcements, there's no way they don't say anything about Pokemon Champions, right? Because they really just kind of dropped that in our laps and just ran away. Maybe with this, we could finally get some kind of release window, or at least get some kind of general idea of how the game in of itself works, what kind of modes it's gonna have, how its connectivity to Pokemon Home or to other games are gonna work. I'd be super game if they decided to release this for the summer. But honestly, I think, again, this game would be much better reserved for the anniversary for next year, considering the fact that this is just kind of the perfect culmination of everything Pokemon that we know so far. So, I don't know. I can't really see it coming out this summer, but it would be a really cool and fun surprise if we did get that release window for this summer. But I highly doubt it, to be completely honest with you. But I'm sure that they'll give us a lot of little hints here and there as to what we can look forward to when that game inevitably does drop. So with that being said, that just about covers all the general stuff that we're probably going to be watching for the first like 10 minutes or so. And then we're inevitably going to get into the major stuff, which is the Legends EA stuff. The thing is, though, we're still about 4 months out from Pokemon Legends EA, and a lot could happen in between that time. So this probably isn't gonna be like the final trailer or anything like that, but they're probably hiding something more major still, right? Like, what could possibly be the thing that we walk away with from this Presents? It's gotta be related to Legends EA in some way, shape, or form, but what are they gonna show us that we don't already have a general idea of? Well, I've got a couple of things that I kind of listed here that may be possible. I don't really know. They're just guesses, so take them all with a grain of salt, because they could be completely wrong and mean absolutely nothing. But I gotta take a crack at it because I'm so curious. My first guess is that this could potentially be like the official story trailer. In the first trailer, they showed off the game for the first time, showcasing that yes, this is a Legends game, but in a more modern style and playing out as a sequel to Pokemon X and Y, as it takes place in the Kalos region a couple of years after the initial events. They showed off the current general vibe of Lumio City in a more modern era. They showed us how wild areas were gonna work. We're just gonna walk in there and fight Pokemon just like we would in Pokemon Legends Arceus. And then in the following trailer, not even a full month later, we saw what we were really really gonna be getting down to. This time around, we're gonna be getting down and dirty in a Lumio City exclusive tournament called the ZA Tournament. As soon as it gets dark in Lumio City, we're gonna be going around and battling trainers so that we can inevitably raise our letter grade. And it's kinda gonna be something of a free-for-all, as you just kinda run up on trainers and just start brawling, just absolutely boxing. And maybe I'm easy to please, but personally, that was enough to have me appealed, especially because we're going to be using real-time strategy this time around. It's no longer turn-based, and that's a switch I definitely want to see in action in a Pokemon game, so I'm already looking forward to it. But the thing is, we still don't know a lot at all in regards to this story or plot. We don't know why AZ is just out here running a hotel, if he's even taking part in the ZA tournament, what Quasartico Inc. has to do with any of that, or why they're powering the city the way that they are, or even how they're managing to do it, what Zygarde's place is in this plot. We have absolutely no clue about any of that. Everything so far is pretty much just speculation. So maybe, possibly, we could finally get some kind of a glimpse into that and really see what's going on in this city and what our real goal is gonna be through a little bit of a story trailer. Maybe we could get a couple of hints and clues as to what our character's about, what Urbane and Tawny are doing here, what Quasartico Inc.'s deal is, or something. Generally speaking though, since we know nothing, the sky's the limit on what they could do with an actual story trailer, and we might finally be getting something like that. My second guess is that we could potentially be looking at a second quote-unquote gimmick trailer. And obviously, I'm talking about something other than the fact that we're getting Mega Evolution and real-time battles. I feel like they're still hiding something major in terms of gameplay as well. Possibly, perhaps, some new crazy way to do raid battles online with friends, so that we could all participate in real-time strategy battles. Maybe we could participate in some kind of a race with our friends and see who could get up in the ranks the fastest. Maybe there's some other crazy tournament mode that allows us to do something else. I don't know, but you get the general idea. What I'm trying to say here is that they are still hiding some major gameplay aspect that's for sure gonna forge the path with how we spend our time with this game, because it's gonna be inevitable that we have some form of really fun post-game and online, possibly, probably, if they're smart about it. I have to believe that they're still hiding something. I really do think that. But again, your guess is just as good as mine when it comes to that. But other than that, I genuinely haven't. Zero clue as to what we could be receiving next month. I mean, hell, who knows? Maybe Pokemon Legends ZA won't even be the final thing that they talk about in that Presents. Of course, though, I do think it would be absolutely insane to announce any other major titles within this year, considering that we do have Legends ZA a couple of months out, but I guess we'll just have to play it by ear. We'll see what happens. Overall, though, I think that just about does it for this one. I'm looking forward to whatever they decide to go ahead and give us in this Pokemon Presents. I do have a couple of things that I would definitely love to see in a Presents like this, but they're gonna be super unrealistic, and I'm not even gonna put my hopes on some of that stuff, to the point where I'm not even gonna say it out loud right now. I do have one thing, though, that I do desperately want to talk about, and that's probably gonna be the next video following this one, so make sure to stay tuned. And again, I usually don't do this, but if you could hit that sub button, that would be sick, because we are almost at 10K, and it would make me super happy if we could get that. And I'll definitely give back to you guys for doing that for me. I promise we'll get something going. But for now, I'm almost there. If you could hit that sub button, I would be mighty appreciative. Because, yeah, you know, I'm doing my best to make videos when I have the time. But, you know, it does get a little hard out here. But regardless, I'm really looking forward to this next Presents. Hopefully they give us something good for ZA, and we get a lot of crazy cool announcements that could lead us easily into next year. But hey, you know what? Maybe that's just me. Again, if you could just subscribe for me, that would be such a blessing. And again, you know, if we want to keep up to date with everything that's going to be going on, everything is in the description. We got the Twitter, we got the Discord, the Blue.Sky. I'm gonna update the Instagram. Actually, I might just start a fresh one, so we'll see what happens, and then I'll probably push Instagram a little more for, you know, other purposes. We'll see what happens. But regardless, I would love it if we could reach 10K and we could do some more major stuff going into the wait time for Pokemon Legends EA. So why don't we we'll try to ramp things up a little bit more. But outside of all that, I want to hear what you guys are thinking in the comment section below. Do you guys feel excited for this upcoming Pokemon Presents? Do you think that we might get something really interesting? Are you excited and looking forward to what they might present to us during that? Or are you on the opposing side? You don't think it's going to be anything major, it's going to be some basic stuff that we probably already know good and well about, and you don't really care either way. Tell me everything that you guys are thinking in the comment section below, because you know for a fact that I'm always going to be down with you guys. But with that, it does indeed appear to be skedaddle o'clock, so I'm going to go ahead and do just that. I'd like to thank you guys ever so much for watching. I truly do hope you enjoyed. Do me the greatest favor of dropping a like and a comment, and consider subscribing for more content just like this here. And with that, I'm Gonzo. Thanks again, hope you enjoyed, and I'll be seeing you guys in the next video. Do me the greatest favor of taking good ass care, and I'll see you all next time. Bye!
I stay funky, doing donuts in a bin. I stay funky, battle goes wherever I am. I stay funky, I don't know who's ready to spit. Just know you're going down with my 58 clips. I stay funky, honey's taking back to the crib. I stay funky, get the club popped off like pain.